And even more importantly, the premise, the foundation for this approach, a technological approach, is different than what you'll hear on cap and trade. If what we're advocating, nationally and internationally, is a system that simply uses the proceeds of crime, in other words, the levies collected from those who emit above caps that we all agree to, if we use the proceeds of that crime for anything but a reinvestment in the technology that'll fix the problem in the first place, in carbon technology, if we use it, for example, for highways and healthcare, then it is not an environmental policy, then it is a tax, then it is a wealth transfer, and it is not on in the province of Saskatchewan. And so I think we can make the case in the West that we have our work to do. I mean, it's true in terms of all hydrocarbon development. It's true in terms of our coal. 50% of our energy in our province comes from coal, a similar profile in the United States. We have to do better. We're prepared to invest. We're prepared to partner with industry and other jurisdictions to do that. And moreover, we need to be able to make the case that we're prepared to be a part of a cap and cut system, to do our part here in the province. But we need to do more than move emissions around. You maybe have heard me say in speeches in the past, for those of you who have heard me speak, that these cap and trade models without that attendant and strict requirement for reinvestment in technology are a little more than, well, the analogy I use are big guys paying smaller guys to eat their dessert, when what we need to do is put away the dessert. Ladies and gentlemen, there are a number of different things that give me great hope about the future of this region, and some proportional influence politically to go along with the economic influence that we're very, very grateful to have. Perhaps the most important development in all of this occurred as an unintended consequence in the 1990s, when the federal government of the day balanced the budget. But they balanced the budget by significantly reducing transfers to the provinces. And there's a provincial treasurer who's sitting up front here who probably remembers that very well. There's two of them. There's a Minister of Finance over there as well. And so at the time, that would have been a very challenging thing for the provinces to deal with. Their transfers were being cut dramatically. But when that happened, there was some influence, maybe more than some, maybe a lot of influence, seeded from the federal arena to the provincial capitals of our country. That hasn't changed, by the way, since then. Since the provinces have got their fiscal house in order, that rebalancing that occurred in the 90s is still the reality today. So maybe we don't, if we never get a Triple E Senate, maybe it's not such a bad thing. Maybe the Senate exists today in the provincial capitals of our country. And maybe if in those provincial capitals are governments who understand that if we work together, Saskatchewan with Manitoba and Alberta and British Columbia, on issues that are important to us, maybe that's not just as good as that kind of a Senate. Maybe that's even better because, you know, at the retail level, people get their services from provincial governments, and when it comes to economic development, there is nothing more important today than the right provincial policy when it comes to economic development, when it comes to taxation. We need the federal government, absolutely, but it's a new dynamic today in Canada. And that alone, I think, is a great source for hope, but only if we don't squander this opportunity and this new influence. As for the province of Saskatchewan, we intend to not squander it. We're going to work very hard with our partners in industry and different governments around the country to make sure we take full advantage of this new reality and the prosperity that we're very grateful to have here in Saskatchewan. Tonight, I invoke the spirit of the forgotten father of Confederation, Sir Frederick Haltane. He had the courage to plan for the future. He had a vision for Western Canada. It did go beyond actually BC, Alberta and Saskatchewan. It covered really the whole West. He dreamed big dreams. We are dreaming those dreams anew again in the West. We are aided in those efforts mightily by groups like the Canada West Foundation. And so let me just say in closing, thank you for that. And I ask the foundation, its board, and its directors to continue to be the force for good that they have been, to continue to encourage those of us who might get things a little bit too slowly in politics, to encourage us down this road, to take full advantage of the opportunities that have been presented to Western Canada. Because, ladies and gentlemen, a strong Saskatchewan is a strong Alberta, is a strong Western Canada, is a strong Dominion of Canada. God bless the province of Saskatchewan. God bless our country. God bless the riders. Have a great night.